For the latest in strategic affairs, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the bell icon for updates.
Hello and welcome to Strat News Global. Of late, India's Andaman and Nicobar group of islands have been in the news, concurrently with an island called Great Coco Island, which belongs to Myanmar, but which is very close to the northern tip of the Andaman and Nicobar group of islands, which lie in the Bay of Bengal. Why are they in the news, and what is the significance of these islands to India's security as well as prosperity, is the topic of this week's Simply Nitin. I am Nitin Gokhale. As most of you would be aware, the Andaman and Nicobar group of islands in the Bay of Bengal sit astride two important sea lanes of communication, the 6-degree channel and the 10-degree channel, through which nearly 40% of maritime trade and traffic passes through, going into Malacca Straits or coming out of there into the Indian Ocean. But that's not the main subject of this week's episode. The main subject of this week's episode is a small island that belongs to Myanmar called the Great Coco Island. It lies 18 nautical miles north of the northernmost island in the group of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. And the northernmost island in that group is called Landfall Islands, which is just about 18 nautical miles from the Great Coco Island. Now, why is it in news and why it should concern people in India or the security managers in India? That's because for years together, for decades in fact, I remember almost 30 years ago, there used to be a rumor that China has a listening post against India or listening post in Coco Island, trying to monitor both the wireless traffic as well as the physical traffic in the Bay of Bengal or around the Andaman and Nicobar group of islands. 30 years later, not much has changed. There was a news report and there was a report in a think tank recently which spoke about extended runway facility on the Coco Island, extended land reclamation, which now will be used for further construction of maybe housing quarters. There would be strengthened signal intelligence facilities that the Myanmaris have. But the catch is, the assessment is, this is not the Myanmaris who are putting all the effort there on the Coco Island, but their good friends, the Chinese, who are not only funding the construction of new facilities on the Coco Island, but are also strengthening their signal intelligence or SIGINT facilities on the Coco Island to keep a track of the movement of the Indian Armed Forces or the Indian Navy in particular, and also look at what's happening in the Bay of Bengal. If you look at the map, you will understand why it is easy to do so. But that's only part of the story. While the Coco Island remains strategically important and an important post that India must watch, just to keep a tab on what's happening there, it may not necessarily be a bad idea to have improved facility or facilities on the Coco Island, because remember, India and Myanmar also have good relations. Tomorrow, if India needs to use alternate facilities in the northernmost tip of the Andaman Nicobar group of islands, then Coco Island is also available for Indian aircraft or Indian ships in distress or the Indian aircraft in distress. And of course, the distance being what it is, just about 18 nautical miles, India can still keep a watch on the Coco Island from the Landfall Island or even Diglipur, which has one of the 4 airstrips on the Andaman Nicobar group of islands. Diglipur airport, of course, is small. It's just about 1200 meters in length at the moment. There are plans to extend it to 1800 meters to begin with, and then of course take it forward as and when more requirement comes up for tourism, for infrastructure development. All that will happen. But the whole issue here is about how alarmed India should be about the Coco Island facility and the so-called presence of the Chinese on that Coco Island facility. According to those who know and those who monitor that area, the Chinese presence is absolutely minimal on that Coco Island. The Myanmari ships come once in a while to Coco Island to either replenish or make a visit and go back. There is no evidence so far suggesting that the Chinese have based their personnel or their assets on the Coco Island. But that does not mean India should not monitor. And as I said, Diglipur has an Indian radar which can monitor the areas around India's northernmost tip, that is the Andaman Nicobar Islands northernmost tip, and of course areas nearby in the Bay of Bengal, which includes the Coco Island. Of course, India has a good reason to keep a watch, because Bay of Bengal is a matter of is an area of interest to the Chinese. One, because it gives them access to both Myanmar as well as Bangladesh, if you look at the map. Second is the Chinese want to explore the seabed treasures or seabed minerals and rare minerals on the seabed of Bay of Bengal, which they increasingly want to access and source. So India has to keep a watch, and India also over the years strengthened its presence, its security metrics, its security deployments on the group of the Andaman Nicobar Islands. Now, it's an interesting history that these islands have. I've done a program, you'll remember, 2 years ago for our own YouTube channel, after I had visited Port Blair and nearby areas, where I had spoken about the plans that the government had for the Andaman and Nicobar group of islands, and where there was a plan that time which is got rolled out, which is a work in progress, where inter-island ferry services are going to be improved and increased, the frequency. Port Meadow, Maya Bandar, Neil, Havelock, all these important islands from Port Blair will be more frequently connected, easier connections will be made available, both in terms of surface ships as well as seaplanes, which is what the government's plan is. The other big plan or the big project that is coming up in the Andaman Nicobar Islands is the Great Nicobar Transshipment Hub, worth or valued at about 75,000 crores when it finally is executed. There are, of course, environmental concerns. There are concerns about displacement of the tribes which inhabit those areas, and of course the long-term damage it will cause to the fragile environment in that Bay of Bengal area, or in the Andaman Nicobar Islands, or at the Great Nicobar Island, which is going to be housing that transshipment hub. But all that is necessary, and a good balance between development needs and the need to protect the environment has to be found, and the government is taking all steps to make sure that the protection of environment also remains part of the project when it comes up. But the security presence is also improved or is improving gradually in the Andaman Nicobar Command, which is India's first tri-service command actually to be put in place in the year 2001. It is now nearly 23 years since, or 22 years since the ANC or the Andaman Nicobar Command came up. It is now getting little more assets, military assets than before. And of course, once the theatre commands come in, we'll have to wait and watch where does Andaman Nicobar Command fit in. Will it fit into the Maritime Theatre Command that is being planned, or as some people have suggested, it might become part of the Northern Command looking after the Chinese or the China border. Now, the China border, of course, is the main Himalayan border, as all of us know. But China is also looming large in the minds of the security planners in the Bay of Bengal, along the Malacca Straits and in the Indian Ocean. And therefore, Andaman Nicobar Command may come into the China-specific command, which could be the Northern Command, for lack of any other better name, which will come up as we go forward. But that's the security angle. As far as the development of infrastructure is concerned, the Andaman Nicobar administration has decided to construct more jetties, more airstrips, more helipads. There's already a helicopter service that sort of runs between islands. Not a private but a government. The Pawan Hans runs these helicopters for tourism or carries passengers, and of course the administration officials for administrative purposes between these islands. But going forward, why is Andaman Nicobar so important for India's development, security, as well as through the tourism perspective? It is because while Port Blair, the capital of Andaman Nicobar group of islands or the Union Territory, are about 700 nautical miles each from either Calcutta, Vizag or Chennai. It is just about 400 nautical miles from Phuket in Thailand. It is just about 90 nautical miles from Sabang, which is one of the important ports where India and Indonesia have decided to jointly collaborate on a certain project. And as I mentioned earlier, only 18 nautical miles from the Coco Island. So, Andaman Nicobar group of islands give India a large EEZ or exclusive economic zone because of the ownership that India has and the kind of strategic location that these islands bring to India's security calculus. Remember, India can monitor traffic, maritime traffic going from the Indian Ocean or going from east to west or west to east, just sitting astride those two sea lanes of communication which I mentioned, 6 degrees and 10 degree channels. And therefore, if anything that the Chinese do in the Coco Island can always be either countered or monitored by the Indian security forces, Indian facilities, listening posts in Diglipur, in Landfall, in Port Blair, anywhere along the 430 nautical miles length of the islands, starting with Landfall and going down to Indira Point beyond the Great Nicobar Island, which is, as I said, just 90 nautical miles from Sabang and 400 nautical miles from Phuket. So, therefore, one need not worry too much about what China is doing. China needs to be monitored, China needs to be watched. But just because a think tank has written a post or an article on the importance of the Coco Islands or the increasing facilities, improved facilities put in perhaps by the Chinese for the Myanmaris, one need not get too alarmed about it, because India has also simultaneously strengthened its intelligence, counterintelligence capabilities as well as security metrics in those islands. That's the crux of the matter that I wanted to flag to you. Of course, if you see it on the map, you will realize how these islands appear to be so tiny, but their importance for India and India's Act East policy, which I call the Andaman Nicobar Islands as the springboard for India's Act East policy, because one can get into Southeast Asian nations through Andaman when all facilities are improved and air and maritime connectivity improves between Andaman Nicobar and the areas east of it. India will become an important transshipment hub, important destination, and an important transit point for the traffic going from east to west or west to east. That's what I wanted to flag. You know where to reach us on Strat News Global. Please send your feedback. In fact, I want to flag this, that I'm doing this program mainly because a couple of requests and feedback had come on our comment section, in our comment section, which had said that why don't you do a report on the Coco Islands issue, which had been flagged by some of these think tanks and other reports which had come up. So in response to that, I have done this program. I hope you like it and you will respond to what I have said and tell us more if we have missed out something. We always welcome that feedback and the comments that you send to us. You know where to reach us. Of course, our email IDs are visible. Our social media handles are well known to you by now. And please do spread the word to subscribe to our YouTube channel and all our social media handles which are visible on the screen at the moment. For the moment, I'm going to stop here and say goodbye.